All right, so welcome to my channel, Hugo's Rules. You can actually check the link and the link below, the website and the link below. Anyways, this video actually is a continuation of the video I've done earlier about the narcissist loves you. So this is the second part. If you haven't watched the other one, go watch the first one, because this is going to be a continuation of what we talked about the other video. So this video is about why you love the narcissist. And remember, in our first video we talked about is that when two beings who love each other so much that they'll do anything for each other to help them grow spiritually, to help them blossom, to help them become more themselves. So they agree to play this role whereby one needs to learn certain aspects of being able to stand up for themselves, being to put boundaries, being able to not fear consequences. They can no attachments, no dependencies, no addiction. Basically, they can be themselves. And so they agreed, as we talked in the other video, they agreed to come and play this role whereby the other person, the other being, out of love, would start to push that being to stand up for themselves. And that's why the other one was being toxic, dysfunctional, the badass, can we say. In this video, actually, we're going to actually talk about the other aspect, whereby the other one who has these toxic behaviors and toxic, dysfunctional or narcissistic characteristics is also agreed to play this role whereby they can learn perhaps empathy, they can learn to love themselves, they can learn that they need to have happiness with themselves, choose to be happy and not depend on supply or sources from outside themselves. And so those two partners agreed to play this role. Obviously, they when they come in and to reincarnate, you forget who you are, you forget where you came from a source of love and understanding. And now we come into this incarnation where we lose ourselves, we don't know who we are probably brought up in different families. So perhaps the narcissistic character is brought up in a family where they are narcissistic, so he acquires those traits and those characteristics, and now they can play that role, being narcissistic, being dysfunctional, always trying to find sources of supply outside themselves, and that's why they go and cling to people who provide it. So the two partners, as we talked about in the other video, are now perfect match. One is able to provide and give, but they need to stand up for themselves and to say no when it doesn't feel good. And the other partner now is learning how to, okay, now they're depending on this supply, but they have to reach a level whereby, you know what, this is not going to serve me anymore, and then I have to start looking deep inside me. But they have to go through this act, through this role, where one has to stand up for themselves, and the other will have to start to learn to start to look within themselves. And the only way this can happen is that when one partner starts to stand up for themselves and they say, you know what, I don't want to continue with this. That's it. I choose to be happy. I choose to be myself. I choose to set boundaries, and I'm out of here. And so the other one will, obviously, the other one who's playing the narcissistic role will not feel good, will feel like, oh, I lost this, I need supply. So they may go jump from one relationship to another, they may have to look for other supply, they may get because they have to reach their rock bottom. So everybody has to reach that level where, you know what, this is not going to do for me, I still have to look inside me. And so this is where the other party that's playing the narcissistic role will have to reach at one level that rock bottom where no supply outside themselves is going to satisfy them, no supply outside of their own inner being, where they have to start loving themselves, they have to start learning empathy. And so it is a difficult path, and basically they have to reach that level on their own. And the only way they can do that is that if there are no more supplies. If they can go to no more support, when they go from one supply to another and they feel emptiness and they feel that this is not working anymore, and they have to choose another choice. And so those two partners, they agreed to play this role, as we talked in the other video. And now one partner start to learn how to stand up for themselves, and the other one will have to learn where they have to look within to start looking to have happiness, to love themselves, and not depend on outside narcissistic supply, as we call them, and jumping from one relation to another until and then they will have to reach that level. Now, it may not happen right away. It may not happen quickly. It may not happen maybe in this lifetime. Who knows? Every being will have their own choice, their own free will to decide when is when. So the one that has to stand up for themselves, it may take them months, years, maybe not in this lifetime to learn to stand up for themselves. And that's why relationships tend to repeat themselves. If we don't learn where we came to learn these lessons, relationships tend to repeat themselves, and we face up with the similar situations, similar circumstances in other relationships. And so, but the bottom line is that those two beings, they started from a loving understanding, loving space, and then they decide to play these roles to help each other grow, help each other become more themselves, help acquire those traits and characteristics that are healthy, beautiful. And the only way they could do that is by living these experiences in our what we call life. So we come incarnate, we go through these experiences, but if we start looking at it, we start looking past. Once we wake up, once we realize, oh, okay, I now I can be able to stand up for myself, or I'm now able to look within and love myself. I don't need supply from outside. Then you can look at those relationships and say, oh, okay, and then you will actually laugh. You will start laughing. Oh, okay, now I know. Okay, I get it. I understand why we went through this. Yes, there was a lot of trauma, a lot of headache, a lot of heartaches, a lot of hurt, a lot of blame. It was your fault, my fault, all of that. But once you start looking past the other person's, the outside mask, it's just an outside mask that they're playing in this role. Yes, they may not be conscious of it. But once, at least if you are conscious of yourself, even if the other party has not yet waken up, they haven't yet learned their lessons, so to speak, you can look past that, those characteristics, and understand where they came from. Ultimately, it was all because of love. It's all because of everybody wanted the other person to grow. So this video is just like a continuation of what I discussed in the other one. And I hope this also you like, and you can comment, share, ask questions. I'd love to have comments and questions, and we'll look forward to the next video. Okay, bye for now.